Right, in this video I'm going to share with you 5 tips, secret tips that better golfers are probably not telling you about when they are warming up to get ready to go play their round of golf. Now don't get me wrong, if you are a weekend warrior and you turn up on the first tee, rip the big dog head cover off and just send one straight down the first hole, then I salute you. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you are someone who is trying to score a little bit better in their golf game, then these 5 tips are certainly going to help you. Right, so the first secret tip that you guys need to know about is on the putting surface. This little thing here is going to cost you the most amount of strokes, and if we can try and eradicate those free whacks from inside 10 feet, I promise you, you will score better on the golf course. So we're going to set up a simple drill in order to be able to gauge our distance control from inside those 10-foot putts. Right, so quite simply what we're going to do is we're going to try and find a level part of the green, somewhere where there's an upslope and somewhere where there's a downslope putting into a center point. On this green, I've picked this point here. This being the downhill putt, this being the uphill putt. What we're simply going to do is just pace out 10 feet, so around about 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place a ball here. Then we'll do the same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we've created is a gate in the middle with an uphill putt and a downhill putt. We are going to try and gauge our distance control by paying attention to our backstroke. And I'll show you the drill that we're going to do now. Right, so gate is all set up. We've got a 10-foot putt. We've got 2 tee markers that are going to need to be placed. One tee marker is going to be the ball position, which is here. The second tee marker is going to be used for our stroke length. So the first putt here is just going to be gauging it. We're not going to pay attention to where the ball's going. We're going to pay attention to our stroke length. Tiny little bit short. So my stroke length was to about here, I would say. Next putt. A little bit past that. Good speed. So we can move that back to slightly past it. Then we're going to copy that again. We're going to get a perfect distance control on the green. Make a mental note of that. So for me, that is 10-foot putt is 6 to 7 inches back and through. Repeat that same drill with the downhill putt. Make note of it on the back of your scorecard. 10-foot putt, 6 inches behind. You've got your distance control sorted for on the golf course. How easy is that? Tip number 2, secret tip number 2. So baby gate. This drill is super simple and super confidence inspiring. What we're going to do is we'll have 4 golf tees on us, okay? On this side of the hole, we're going to set up a little baby gate. So the behind side of the hole, we're going to set up a little 2-tee baby gate. Then on this side of the hole, so to the right, we're going to set up a little 2-tee front gate here. All we are going to do, put that a bit closer, all we're going to do is dump all of your balls out your golf bag if you really want to, but for the sake of the video, I will do it with 3. I'm going to set up a little short putt from this side where I'm hitting it just into the front of the hole. Then I'm going to set up a slightly further back, so about 2-foot putt this side, where I'm aiming to putt and hit the back of this hole. So quite simply, got 2 tees in front of the hole. I'm not focusing on anything apart from stroking and hitting those 2 tees at the front of the hole. Like I said, feel free to dump your whole golf bag out. Just nick a hole on the putting green for 2 minutes and really just drone in, hitting those tees with the golf ball over and over again, as many times as you possibly can until you get bored, just hitting the front of those tees over and over. We're then going to move to the station with the tees behind. We're going to put it a little bit further back, so we're trying to hit these putts with a little bit more pace and conviction, and we're going to aim to hit the tee at the back of the hole. And then from a little bit of a further distance here, we're just focusing on hitting the back tee, so back of the cup on these little 2-footers. Take the break out of it when we're on the golf course, over and over again, back of the cup. Alternate between the drills if you want, but I can assure you that doing this is going to make you a lot more confident on the golf course. Tip number 3, we're heading over to the chipping green. Right, so tip number 3, and this one is going to blow your mind. What if I told you every single chip you had on the golf course was a 10-foot chip? Let me explain that a little bit further. If you was out on the golf course and you could manage the distance of a 20-foot chip, a 30-foot chip, all by hitting it just 10 feet, would you agree that would make the game easier? So that's what we're going to do. Whatever wedges you've got in your bag, for me, I've got a 60, a 54, a 50, and a pitching wedge. I'm going to land it at a 10-foot spot that I've marked out on the green, which I'll show you. And then we're going to gauge how far it is rolling out on the green. So when we get onto the golf course, I'll know that I can hit my 54 degree, for example, 10 feet, and it's going to roll out to 20 feet. If I've got a 30-foot chip, I know I can hit my 50, 10 feet, and it's going to roll out to 30 feet. Use your noggin. This is so easy and so simple. So off the side of the green, let's mark out 10 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 yards is around about 10 feet-ish. And we've got a nice zone marked out here, which is going to be our landing spot. This is going to be where we're trying to land all of our wedges, okay? So I'd recommend for you guys to do this with about 3 to 4 balls per club, just to make sure you're hitting at the right distance. But for the sake of the video, we'll just do one with each, starting with the 60. So 60 degree, land it in the box, see how much it runs out. 54 degree, exactly the same, land it in the box, see how much it runs out. 50 degree, land it in the box, see how much it runs out. Onto the pitching wedge, 10 foot, see how much it runs out. We've now got a visual aid on the golf course, which I'll show you, that just by hitting 10-foot chips over and over again, we've got multiple different distances. How easy is that? Let me show you the distance differences. So simply from chipping it 10 feet with my 60, I've got around about a 15-foot chip here with a 60. Chipping it 10 feet with my 54, I've got around about a 20-foot chip with here. Chipping it 10 feet with my 50, I've got around about a 28-foot chip here. And then finally, chipping it with my pitching wedge, 10 feet, I've got around about a 35-foot chip sorted on the golf course. 4 clubs landing in the exact same spot, giving us 4 complete different differences. Like and subscribe, secret tip number 3 complete. That is how you gauge your chipping on the chipping green for different speeds at different golf courses. The last 2 secret tips, we're gonna head over to the range. Like and subscribe. Right, so secret tip number 4, and this is one that is overlooked all the time. So we've done our little short game, we've gauged our putting, we've sorted out our chipping, we are nearly ready to head out onto the golf course, but it is time to hit the range and get loose before we do so. The big thing that I cannot stress enough to you guys are these things. Alignment sticks. Put an alignment stick out at a target that you are trying to hit, and then we can see on the range what our misses is going to be when we hit the golf course. Such a massive mistake overlooked by a lot of golfers. So literally all I'm going to do is just put my little alignment stick out to the red stake. I'm going to start with my wedges just to sort of ease into it. These haven't got to be crazy full shots, just sort of like little pitch motions, just to make sure that we're hitting it where we want to. Slightly wind off the left, so that one is okay. We'll just check it again. That one is damn good. We'll then move on to our short iron. So I like to go with an 8 iron. Same alignment setup. 8 iron, straight down the target. We'll go again, 8 iron. So I've pulled that one slightly. We'll check one more, because if we're on the range and I'm aiming to that target and I'm pulling everything left of target, then we know odds are when we get out onto the golf course, our miss is probably going to be a pull. Then we can move on to a slightly longer club, so 6 iron. If the pattern repeats itself, oh, that's gone miles left, then I know I'm pulling it. But hopefully we're just setting up to target, but progressing through our bag nicely. Wedges, short irons, longer irons, and we're just hitting good golf shots straight over the top of our target over and over again. Not only is it good for our confidence, we know how we're sort of performing before we hit the course. Then just finish up your range session, just sort of moving into the longer clubs in your bag, so 5 wood, 3 wood, whatever it is that you've got, hit a couple of them, and then onto everyone's favourite club in the bag. Yep, why not? If you've got a driver in the bag, get a couple of feels of just hitting the driver, exact same target line, slight change of setup. Oh, that one was gunned. Secret tip number 5. And then the 5th and final secret tip is, as you turn up at the golf course, just pay attention to what the first hole is. Envisage the shot you're going to hit off of that first hole. Just simply spend the last 5 balls of your range session hitting that same shot. It's a par 4 short one, so it's a hybrid every day of the week for me here. Envisage it, see the shot, hit the shot. Simple as that, really. So there you have it, 5 secret tips that you're not being told about, which is definitely going to improve your golf game. Starting on the putting green, little 10-foot drill just to gauge your distance. Moving on to the small gate, aim small, miss small. That is going to build a lot of confidence when heading out onto the course. Over to the chipping green, how crazy is that? Every single chip is a 10-foot chip. Just use the different clubs, use all of the arsenal in your golf bag. Heading over to the range, put your alignment stick down so you know exactly what your miss is before you head out onto the golf course. And then finally, take a little sneak peek at that first hole. Envisage it, hit that shot 5 times on the range, and you are ready for the first. Hit that same shot, and it doesn't matter if you miss the green on your approach. Why doesn't it matter? Because we know exactly how hard to hit our wedge shot. Cozy one up there to around about 6 feet, and we are brimming with confidence from the putting drills that we've already done roll that in for your par, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.